Sister, 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 sister. Welcome everyone, welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Today I wanted to talk rabbit holes, disco rock rabbit holes. I have found myself in a disco rock rabbit hole, and I'd like to explain why it's fun, and where I plan on going down this rabbit hole. Disco rock, the two greatest years of history. To some, to me, to Large Marge, to Pee Wee, it's the two greatest years ever. To some, they hate it. We embrace the disco rock. For years, probably since I was 16 years old, I have considered Rock and Roll Over to be my #1 favorite Kiss record, even wearing the Killer Clowns from Outer Space t-shirt today, because Rock and Roll Over was my favorite record of all time. Because today, this has happened over time, but today I'm officially announcing it. 2020, 46 years old, my #1 record has been replaced. I always called it a tie with another record, but today it changes. Because today, this year, it is officially becoming Dynasty. For many years I have claimed Rock and Roll Over and Dynasty as a tie for #1, but I'm officially deciding Dynasty today, and it all has to do with a little track called Baby Driver. Right there, 3 up from the bottom. Baby Driver is a skip for me, and I do not skip any songs on Dynasty. So I thought about that the other day. I was like, you know what? I skip a track here. I do not here. Thus, my new #1. Now let's talk #1's sister. What I always consider to be the sister album of Dynasty is, of course, Unmasked, produced by the same producer, Vinnie Poncier, and just contains that wonderful disco rock, as noted on the France 45 for I Was Made for Loving You. How fun is that phrase? That phrase brings up memories of 1979, 1980, roller rinks, being a kid. I love the flashing lights, and I think back to these two albums. You know, they probably didn't play them in my day of elementary school at the roller rink. Probably more my sister's day. I think back to the tracks of this record, and they are so roller rink disco fun. You know, figuring out that Dynasty is my all-time #1, realizing how much I love the songs of Unmasked. Tomorrow is in my top 5 as a 46-year-old man. When I was 18, I loved this record for the cheese. At 46, I love this record for the songwriting. These are great songs. Production, yeah. Poppy fun. But that adds to the magic of why I love this disco rock era, and why I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole of collecting disco rock era fun. And because the universe works in magical ways, at the very same time, my buddy Daniel, all the way from Australia, sent me a pen pal care package full of 1979, 1980 Australian gold. This blew my mind. The Australian 45s of I Was Made for Lovin' You. B-side, of course, Hard Times. Shandy. B-side, She's So European. By Myself from Peter Criss, the Out of Control record. B-side, I Found Love. Talk to Me. B-side, Naked City. Now also included in this care package was Best of the Solo Albums. My jaw dropped when I saw this. Absolutely hit the floor. When I was probably 19 years old, I remember seeing a picture of this Best of the Solo Albums, and I didn't know what it was. I found out it was a foreign release, and my heart broke, because back then, 1993, there's no way you ever think you're gonna come across one of these. And I remember just loving that Best of the Solo Albums font. So 1980s. And when I saw this in the package, I gasped. Like, literally lost the breath from my body. And this made me smile so much. Thank you so much, Daniel, for this care package. You had no idea I was heading down a disco rock rabbit hole, and somehow Kiss fans from across the globe knew what one another were thinking. I have no idea how I'm going to pay you back for this, but I do kind of have some inklings. I'm going to try to do the same thing for you, care package wise, and we can both share this kind of over the pond experience. This album blew my mind. A dream from when I was 19 years old come true. And my buddy FL Dog mentioned when he saw this photo I posted on Instagram, there's a neat little trivia fact when you look at this album compared to the German release. And this is pretty cool. The difference of the order of the artist, Bob Ross, of the artist themselves coincides with the way the faces are arranged on the record. German version put together on one side are Ace and Peter. Flip the album over, the other side is Paul and Gene. The Australian version, you have Gene and Ace together. Gene and Ace also grouped together on one side. Flip the album over, you have Paul and Peter. Paul and Peter grouped together. I have no idea if that was to be intentional, but it is a neat little fact to point out. Probably not intentional at all, probably just coincidence, but fun nonetheless. And coincidence of me dropping down a disco rock rabbit hole and my buddy Daniel sending this wonderful care package to my house floors me. I am very grateful. I am hugely thankful for my Kiss friends. And Daniel, I am putting together a care package for you, and I hope you dig it as much as I dug this. Thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart. In around 79, 80, a German magazine, I believe it was a German magazine called Joe Pie, printed a picture of Paul with a yellow jacket on. And for a long time in the 80s, there was an argument, was this a test jacket? Was it a production jacket only made to kind of test out different colors? Or was this a printer's mistake with the color palette? All evidence points to a printer's mistake with the color palette, but Biff Bang Pow has made, or did make in 2017, a Comic-Con exclusive figure of that yellow outfit, and I was able to snag one of these. This is new into the Wax Night basement, and I just absolutely love this. I usually don't collect new stuff, but I figured for my disco rock rabbit hole I would. Why not? It's all fun, and this was at a nice price point, so I snagged it up. Got the old yellow jacket there, but I love that yellow jacket. I love the story of the yellow jacket, and I thought this was a good piece to start off the disco rock collection. So that is kind of the disco rock rabbit hole I'm going to throw myself down. I'm gonna, you know, I found a little niche, a little fun, 79.80 fun, and I think I'm gonna travel down that fun. I think we all kind of, in this collecting game, you need a focus, you need a place to call your own, a niche, and whether that be rock and roll over, you want to collect everything rock and roll over, or you want to collect everything hot in the shade. God bless your heart if you do that. You and I could be friends. But for the time being, I'm loving this 79.80 absolute fun. It's so excessive and wonderful. Behind the makeup, they're rich, raunchy, and not so repulsive. Daniel, my friend, thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful gift of this album and those Australian 45s. I will forever smile every time I look at those. Made my summer. Thank you so much. Everyone, be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. It is nappy nap time here in the Wax Night basement. No longer can we play disco rock. It is time to take a nap. If you'd like to be a pen pal, details below. I'll send you some Large Marge Pee Wee swag. Take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.